assist. If you accept our proposal, I'll upgrade your membership card to VIP status immediately. I promise you'll receive priority on all the benefits we offer. After hearing this, Mrs. Song Jin-sik chuckled and said, "Do you think I would agree to those conditions? You think I would betray my husband and children? But that's not all. I also heard that both sides of the family have a history of cancer. Particularly Song Eun-jin's grandmother, who recently underwent surgery for colon cancer. It was quite serious, wasn't it? But with cancer, there's always a risk of recurrence. The cancer center at our group's medical institute is renowned for having the most advanced cancer treatment technology in the country. For both of you, your parents, and even Song Eun-jin and Song Jin-won. If you wish to receive treatment at no cost whenever cancer is detected, I guarantee to provide lifelong medical benefits for your entire family. Of course, regarding your son's reproductive health, I'll ensure that there are no issues and will cover all the expenses for the recovery of his limbs as well." She continued, "As for the settlement, I believe it's only fair to offer you compensation." Mr. Song Jin-sik, seeing the large sum of money in front of him, was astonished and said, "How much money is there here, my God? Compared to the injuries my adoptive daughter caused to your 2 children, what's this worth? But after taxes, I'll give you about 20 billion won. Besides this, I'm also considering purchasing an apartment in Gangnam worth around 50 billion won. Which will be in either of your names. Now, have I offered enough to compensate your family?" Song Jin-sik, after hearing these words from Lee Myung-jun, began to laugh hysterically. A second later, he clasped his hands together in delight and said, "Vice Chairman, I didn't think there was anyone like you in this world. As for my son, Song Jin-won, yes, his lower half is completely destroyed. He's always been a bit wild, and I've been anxiously worrying about when he'd cause more trouble. And now, with what's left of him down there, well, it needs to be sewn up too." At this point, his wife, having heard what Song Jin-sik said, leaned in to whisper in his ear, "Honey, listen to me for a moment. Think this through carefully. Something about this feels off. For them to offer us such compensation, at the very least, we should ask for time to think it over until tomorrow." "Honey," he responded, "I don't think that's necessary. I've thought it through already, so just trust me on this." Song Jin-sik, after finishing his conversation with his wife, turned back with a smile and said, "So, what do we do next, Vice Chairman? We can draw up the contract right here, can't we? As the party receiving the compensation, I apologize. But the contents of this compensation agreement come with 2 conditions." "What conditions, Vice Chairman?" he asked. First, Lee Myung-jun continued, "The matter of the school violence must be kept absolutely confidential. As someone who is under significant pressure from various angles, if any rumors were to spread, I would stand to lose a great deal." Song Jin-sik, thinking it was an easy condition, replied, "I thought it might be something difficult. Of course, we'll keep it a secret. What's the other condition?" Lee Myung-jun remained silent for a long moment before finally speaking. "Jiaram, please come in." At this, Jiaram entered the room, much to the shock of the couple. "The second condition," Lee Myung-jun continued, "is that this child will participate in charity activities. Through charitable work, my adoptive daughter, Jiaram, will be able to adapt better to life in South Korea. To help her adjust, she needs friends around her. I hope that your daughter, Song Eun-jin, can assist Jiaram with this." He then turned to Song Jin-sik, saying, "I understand that you have a close relationship with Chairman Gyogo. With this second condition, I trust that you'll do your utmost to help us, won't you?" At this moment, Jiaram also spoke up, "Mr. Song Eun-jin, I sincerely apologize for what I did to Song Eun-jin and her brother, Song Jin-won. I let my emotions get the better of me and couldn't control my actions. If you could give me a chance to make amends, I will do my best to correct my mistakes." Turning to Mrs. Song, she continued, "And to Song Eun-jin's mother, I apologize for my disrespectful behavior in the teacher's office the other day. I know my apology may not be enough to earn your forgiveness for my rudeness, but I hope that in the future, Song Eun-jin and I can become close friends. I'll work hard to correct my mistakes and hope to earn your praise, which I'll note in my diary." The mother of Song Eun-jin, hearing Jiaram's words, was shocked and thought, "If the agreement includes a condition to help this girl adapt to life here, then my daughter, Song Eun-jin, will also receive support for her university entrance, right?" Jiaram continued, "Yes, Mr. Song Eun-jin's father, if my friendship with Song Eun-jin remains strong even after we graduate from high school. The cooperation between our two families will become an inseparable connection in business. Therefore, I hope you will forgive me for the things I've done. Hearing Jiaram's words, Song Jin-sik smiled and said, "All right, Jiaram, we'll support you in the future." They smiled brightly at Jiaram, seemingly forgetting how their child had just been beaten. But then he thought, exchanging money for a good life, well, that's worth it. On the other side, Lee Myung-jun was also smiling to himself, thinking, perfect, with this move, Lee Myung-jun, have gained the trust of Song Eun-jin's parents. We might as well say that we've legally purchased the right to bully Song Eun-jin. But don't get too excited, Director Song. This financial transaction isn't as fair as you imagine. After all, when you receive that money, you'll have to pay back double the damage. Jiaram was also smiling, thinking, look at their reaction. They have no idea their daughter was even photographed naked. And now I have another weakness of Song Eun-jin in my hands. Stepfather, I've gained the trust of Song Eun-jin's parents. And now the game is getting even more interesting. Meanwhile, Song Eun-jin was smiling and saying, Jiaram is probably on her knees, begging and crying in front of my parents right now. She should know who my father is, right? If he were my dad, he would just make her disappear. My dad is close to Director Lee. If they had to pay for treatment and security, they'll probably go bankrupt. And she'll surely be scolded by her stepfather. In the end, the one who gets to smile last is me. Flashback to 1 year ago. Haina was sitting on the ground, crying. Song Eun-jin, laughing, said, Haina, bark for me. Come on, let's hear it. Haina, with a chain around her neck, could only cry. A moment later, Song Eun-jin yanked the chain, jerking Haina's neck. Furious, Song Eun-jin said, You little wretch, are you not going to bark properly? Bark like a dog, you little bitch. In pain from the pull, Haina sobbed as she whimpered, Woof, woof. Hearing this, Song Eun-jin laughed again, Woof, woof. Now let's hear you whine. And then howl. She turned to the others and shouted, You pathetic dogs, get lost. I know you're desperate to pee, we've been drinking water all morning. But Haina here isn't going anywhere until she does it right here. Lunchtime is still far off, so take your time, won't you? Haina, hearing this, could do nothing but continue crying. Back in the present, Lee Myung-jun awoke from his sleep, disturbed by the memory of Haina's crying. Sitting up in a panic, he muttered, Another nightmare. The contents of Haina's diary keep haunting me every night. But I must remember every nightmare because those nightmares are the only way my poor Haina could convey the suffering she endured. Hyena, your heart-wrenching cries, it's only now that your father can finally hear you. Never forgive me. Let me live in this hell forever so that I may become a demon to avenge you. Garam, standing on the balcony, noticed Lee Myung-jun and smiled, Stepfather, couldn't sleep. And what about you? What are you still doing up at this hour? He asked. Oh, I was just too excited thinking about how I get to play with Song Eun-jin from now on. My heart's racing so much I can't sleep, she replied, grinning. Is that so? He remarked, a slight smile tugging at his lips. You could say the same for me, I suppose. After a moment of contemplation, Lee Myung-jun said to Garam, You must destroy Song Eun-jin's life, Garam. Hearing this, Garam smiled wider, You can trust me with that, stepfather. The next morning at school, the atmosphere was tense. The students were visibly anxious about something. Among them, Song Eun-jin was seething with anger, thinking, Damn it, what the hell is going on? That crazy girl, how is she still coming to school unscathed? No matter how much I asked my dad last night, all he said was that he didn't know. She remembered the conversation from the previous night. You need to befriend Garam, okay? I've already spoken with Garam's father, and he's a wonderful man. If you can get close to Garam, it'll be a huge help to our family. Garam even mentioned that she'd treat you well, so don't worry too much. From now on, try to get along with her, alright? Back in the present, Song Eun-jin was still fuming, damn it, who the hell is her father? Could he be some big shot? Even if he is, there's no way I'm going to befriend that crazy girl. What the hell is dad thinking? At that moment, Garam stood up and glanced in Song Eun-jin's direction, giving her a slight smile. Seeing Garam approach, Song Eun-jin panicked internally, oh no, she's coming this way. What is she planning to do to me? When Garam reached her, she smiled and said. Hey, Song Eun-jin, gather your group and meet me by the lockers. Hearing this, Moon Yi-jin, who was nearby, turned around to watch. A few moments later, Song Eun-jin and her group were standing nervously by the lockers. Forcing a smile, Song Eun-jin asked, "Garam, why did you call us here?" "Don't be so nervous," Garam replied with a grin, "didn't your dad tell you? From now on, you and I are going to build a really great friendship." "Yeah, my dad did mention something like that," Song Eun-jin stammered. "Good, to make peace with you all, I prepared a really fun game. It's a game everyone loves. It's called, Walking the Dog," Garam announced with a mischievous smile. Upon hearing the name of the game, Song Eun-jin was terrified. Meanwhile, Jae-yeon, one of her friends, raised her hand hesitantly, Garam. I just want to make sure. This game isn't what we think it is, right?" Garam chuckled, "No, it's not what you're thinking." "So, what kind of game is it then?" Jae-yeon asked, her voice trembling. "It's a game where I'll tie a leash around your necks and walk you around." Garam explained with a cold smile. Song Eun-jin's eyes widened in horror. "So it is exactly what we thought, isn't it?" "You're crazy, Garam. Are you really planning to do this at school?" Garam tilted her head slightly, feigning innocence. "Well, since this game has an element of role-playing, I figured I'd assign you all some roles. Sae, you seem like a mischievous kid, so you'll be called Beagle. Jae-yeon, you're more serious, so you'll be Doberman. And our sweet Song Eun-jin, you'll be Chihuahua." The mention of her new nickname made Song Eun-jin's entire body tremble with rage. A second later, she angrily swatted Garam's hand away, causing the collar to fall to the ground. "Chihuahua, my ass. Go to hell." Garam's smile vanished, replaced by a cold stare. "That collar was expensive, you know." Song Eun-jin snapped back, "Shut your mouth, you bitch. Is this how you treat someone you supposedly want to be friends with? Or are you planning to do something crazy with my dad, too?" Garam sighed softly, her voice calm. "I really do want to be friends with you, Eun-jin." "Bullshit. You're insane," Song Eun-jin shouted. Garam's expression softened into one of mock sincerity. "All right, if you don't want to be friends, I won't force it. But, Eun-jin, your actions have hurt me, so I need to relieve my stress somehow." Song Eun-jin's anger faltered. "What do you mean, relieve your stress?" "I've heard that when Gen Z gets stressed, they like to post about it online. Especially when they're really upset, they might post something interesting. Like photos," Garam said, her voice dripping with insinuation. "And, Eun-jin, I have so many memorable photos of you. Would you mind if I shared them?" Panic washed over Song Eun-jin's face as she lunged at Garam, grabbing her phone. "Garam, please, don't post those pictures." Garam chuckled softly. "Look at you, Eun-jin, always opposing what I want to do. That's not what a good friend would do, now is it? If you're not planning on being friends with me, I won't hold back anymore. If you don't play with me, I'll post those photos online." Seeing Song Eun-jin start to cry, Garam smiled faintly. She walked over, picked up the collar, and then approached Eun-jin again. Her smile growing wider. "So, are you going to play? How about we take a nice walk, just you and me?" Meanwhile, Eun-jin's parents were out playing golf. A staff member nearby was smiling and said, "Great shot, Chairman. That new club really made a difference, it's a fantastic stroke. The better the gear, the higher the price, but it's worth every penny, isn't it?" As he spoke, Eun-jin's mother looked worried and said, "Honey, please don't talk like that. The money that the vice chairman gave us, it just makes me feel uneasy all the time. At that moment, I was blinded by it, but the more I think about it, the stranger it seems. What exactly does the vice chairman see in us to offer such good conditions? And why would he give us such a large amount of money?" While she was speaking, Song-jin's sick took another swain. After hitting the ball, he replied. "Darling, you didn't read the school violence records of those other kids besides Eun-jin, did you?" "I did, along with our lawyer. When the parents of those children involved in school violence formed a group together. Do you know what I thought after reading all of that? What our Eun-jin did doesn't even come close to what those other kids did. Compared to them, Eun-jin's actions were just harmless teasing. How could they call that bullying? I did far worse things during my military service. Especially that illegitimate child of Assemblyman Cha. That kid isn't even human. It's a good thing the vice chairman only accused Eun-jin of school violence. Who knows what he's planning to do to get revenge on Assemblyman Cha's child. Honey, what are you trying to say? She asked, still confused. You're not seeing the big picture, he said. The money the vice chairman gave us is because he wants our help with something personal. Think about it. What could Lee Myung-jun be aiming for? His target has to be Assemblyman Cha's daughter. But Assemblyman Cha is just a regular politician, right? Even for someone like Lee Myung-jun, going up against him alone isn't easy. So why do you think he gave us that money? He wants us to help him with his revenge. He just wants us to become allies, doesn't he? After all, we already have connections with the families of those bullies, so he probably thinks we're well suited to be his spies. All we had to do is sit back and enjoy the rewards. So that's what this is all about, huh? You've already got everything planned out, haven't you? Of course, he replied confidently. Have you ever seen me fail? Just wait and see. By now, everything should be falling into place. Eun-jin and Jie-ram, they're going to become inseparable best friends. Meanwhile, Jie-ram and Eun-jin had indeed become inseparable friends. If one could call it that. Jie-ram was leading Eun-jin around the school on a leash. The other students, seeing this, whispered among themselves. Those girls are completely nuts. I don't even know what to say anymore. There isn't a single day in this school without some kind of chaos. She's doing it again. But would you dare go against Jie-ram? I know I wouldn't. True, another student chimed in, but honestly, isn't she just humiliating Eun-jin? It's like she's asking for trouble. I wouldn't be surprised if one day she ends up facing serious consequences. I knew this would happen when she put her trust in her brother Jin-gu. And now she's acting like a dog on a leash. Hearing these comments, Eun-jin angrily turned around and shouted. You filthy bastards. I remember all your faces. Just wait until my brother gets better. Then, every single one of you. Before Eun-jin could finish, Jie-ram yanked on the leash, causing Eun-jin to fall flat on the ground. Jie-ram laughed and said, Eun-jin, what should we do if you disturb your classmates during study time? Should I put a muzzle on you? Say he, noticing her expression, hesitated, no need. I'm just a bit tense, that's all. Is that so? Jie-ram teased. Come on, we're all classmates here, don't take it the wrong way. I'm just a girl from North Korea trying out South Korea's TikTok challenges. And with everyone's agreement, we put on this little show, right? Isn't that right, Eun-jin? Now, let's keep moving, Chihuahua Eun-jin. We've still got a long way to go. If you want to make it to the boys' classroom on time, you'd better hurry. What are you barking about? Eun-jin snapped. Why would we go to the boys' class? I never said we were going there. What are you even talking about? Jie-ram replied with a smirk. If you call just walking back and forth in front of a classroom a walk, why would I bother taking you? That's such a hassle. A real walk involves going around somewhere, don't you think? She leaned in closer, her voice laced with sarcasm. But what's wrong, Eun-jin? This isn't too bad, right? I mean, it's not like you're that crazy girl who dragged someone into the boys' bathroom or anything. Eun-jin's face paled, and she stammered, how do you know about that? Before she could finish, Jie-ram kicked her squarely in the behind, making her stumble forward. Dogs don't get to ask questions, Jie-ram taunted. Now come along, Chihuahua Eun-jin. As Eun-jin was dragged along, she cried out, I'm begging you, Jie-ram, don't take me to the boys' classroom. Please, I'm begging you. Moments later, the boys in the classroom stared in shock as Jie-ram led Eun-jin past their door. They whispered among themselves, what's going on? What kind of crazy thing are the girls up to now? Are you blind? Another boy retorted, that's school bullying, man. Girls are seriously scary, I guess their sisterhood is over. Hearing the whispers, Eun-jin wept internally, thinking, please, stop looking at me. I'm begging you. At that moment, a boy approached, laughing, what the hell is this? Are you serious? Jie-ram turned to him, still grinning, can't you tell? I'm just taking my dog for a walk. These girls are asking for it. Eun-jin, say hello, Jie-ram continued. This is Park Min-woo, the first boy I befriended when I came to South Korea. Upon seeing Park Min-woo, Eun-jin's mind raced, Park Min-woo. He's a first year, but why are these jerks smirking at me like that? Could it be that they're in cahoots with Jie-ram? Park Min-woo's voice broke through her thoughts, Jie-ram, can I join you in walking your dog? Of course, Jiaram handed over the leash. Jin, horrified, protested, Jiaram, wait. This isn't okay. No, please. Park Min-woo laughed, what's this? A dog that can talk. How ridiculous. Seeing Park Min-woo's frustration, Jiaram said sternly, Jin, I hope you don't make me lose my temper any more than you already have. Hearing this, Jin began to cry in fear. A moment later, Park Min-woo yanked on Jin's leash, dragging her along. As Jin cried out in pain, Park Min-woo laughed, now you sound more like a dog. Jin tried to protest, how dare you? Do you even know who my brother is? Park Min-woo smirked, of course, your brother's just another dog. But damn, the more I look at this bee, the more pissed off I get. You're your brother's left hand, aren't you? Telling him to discipline us. Just thinking about all the crap we've had to endure because of you guys makes me sick. What did we ever do to you? Before Jin could respond, Jiaram interrupted. Hey, Jin, now's not the time to make excuses. Do you see all those people behind you? They all trusted your brother and had to endure some terrible things. Jin, confused and scared, asked, what is this all about? Exactly, Jiaram replied coldly. So shouldn't you be living a little more obediently? I'm not doing this for fun. I'm doing this as part of a challenge for the Anabata spirit of South Korea. Alright, everyone line up. Jiaram called out, pay 1,000 won for a turn to walk Jin. The students eagerly lined up, pushing each other to get ahead. Let me go first, one shouted. Just thinking about how her brother tortured us makes me angry all over again. Jin, realizing the hopelessness of her situation, stayed silent, too overwhelmed to respond. Jiaram, taking the money, said, all right, I've got the 1,000 won. Stick out your hand, Jin. Jin, beaten and humiliated, could only comply. I said stick it out. B**********. Why aren't you dead yet? Someone jeered. After the humiliating ordeal, Jiaram returned to class, laughing. What a meaningful walk that was, don't you think, Jin? Jin could only cry over her wretched fate. Jiaram, noticing something, commented, look over there, Jin. The class president is still studying hard, even during break time. What a model student. You should take notes from her. Jiaram continued, tauntingly, I hear that if you study for 3 years at a village school, you'll learn to recite poetry. If you stay close to the class president and keep barking, maybe you'll even learn the answers for the college entrance exam. Jin, terrified, started barking loudly and frantically. As she barked, her cries grew more desperate. Meanwhile, Jin, who was trying to concentrate, became increasingly irritated. Finally, she snapped, breaking her pen in frustration, and demanded. Jiaram, what the hell are you doing? Jiaram, unfazed, smirked, I'm just making a comparison. I asked, what the hell are you doing? Jin repeated, more angrily. Just walking my dog, Jiaram replied nonchalantly. Don't worry, class president, my dog doesn't bite. If Jin makes a mess, I'll clean it up. I'm even planning to get her vaccinated soon, so you can focus on your studies without worrying. Fuming, Jin stormed out, muttering to herself. These crazies need to be pushed away. As Jin left, Jiaram smirked to herself, pleased with how things were going. However, Jin, outside, thought, I can't concentrate because of these lunatics. Jiaram's backing is Lee Myung-jun, and their next target is me. I need to come up with a plan to deal with them. Flashback to a year ago. Hyena was lying on the ground, crying helplessly. Suddenly, a voice rang out, you bunch of cowards, do you really find it fun to bully someone weaker than you? Can't you think of something more creative to do? Isn't that right, Hyena? The speaker continued with a smirk, Hyena. Did you know that the lethal dose of nicotine is much lower than cyanide? It means that the nicotine in this cigarette I'm smoking is more dangerous than cyanide. Weird, right? Even though I smoke a lot, I'm still perfectly healthy. Could it be that cyanide is just some cheap stuff? Another voice interrupted, what are you trying to say? The original speaker responded, what I'm saying is that comparing the toxicity of nicotine in cigarettes to chemical waste isn't exactly fair. When you inhale nicotine from smoking, you only absorb a tiny, slow dose. But what do you think happens if you ingest it? They leaned in closer to Hyena, grinning maliciously, come on, don't be so scared. Just because you smoke doesn't mean you'll die instantly. Nicotine has a mild effect. You just need to throw up before it gets to you, right? But of course, if you can't throw up, well, you die. At that moment, another voice chimed in, wow, she's talking like she knows everything. Getting into medical school must be tough, huh? Shut up, snapped the original speaker, irritated. You idiots are clueless. Hyena, you're so disgusted that you're willing to do dirty things like this, but there's a reason for that. Knowledge that's only learned in theory is useless, isn't it? So today, I'm going to conduct an experiment on a living subject, on you. They turned to another person in the group and ordered. Hey, Song Eun-jin, hold her still so she can't move. And shoved this cigarette into her mouth. Song Eun-jin hesitated. Do you really want me to do that? Are you kidding me? Don't you see everyone waiting for the show? Move it, or I'll shove it down your throat instead. Hyena, desperately trying to resist, pleaded with them to let her go. But her cries fell on deaf ears as her mouth was forced open. Moon Ee-jin, standing by and laughing, leaned in, saying, Hyena, open wide so I can shove this nicotine into your mouth. Present time. Chief Beek was briefing Moon Ee-jin. The second daughter of the director of Taiwan General Hospital, class president of the 6th grade. This child is the next target of Jie-ram. Ee-jin was the harshest bully to Hyena, forcing her to eat harmful things like toilet paper, newspapers, and cigarettes. Though she's incredibly cruel, she hides it very carefully. It's said that she conducts her bullying discreetly, away from the eyes of other students. So until now, very few people knew about Moon Ee-jin's involvement in school violence. He continued, but to be accurate, Chief Beek, what she does isn't cautious, it's cowardly. Apologies, Chairman, I'll use more precise terms from now on. Since middle school, she's wanted to pursue a path in sports, but her father pushed her towards medicine, adding immense academic pressure. If we exploit this weakness, it could significantly aid our revenge. Since Jie-ram now has the authority to plan the revenge, we should first hear her thoughts. Jie-ram then chimed in, if it's this girl, I have a unique educational method I'd like to try. Father, do you give me permission? When they arrived at the classroom, Jie-ram was staring at Ee-jin, sitting there with a subtle smile on her face. Moon Ee-jin noticed this and thought angrily, it's already the 4th period. Damn it, what the hell is she planning during every break? Finally, Moon Ee-jin slammed her hand on the desk and said. If you have something to say, just say it. Stop making everyone so annoyed. But Jie-ram didn't respond, just sat there smiling, which only infuriated Moon Ee-jin more. This bitch is pushing it, she thought. Jie-ram then spoke, Class President, haven't you noticed? Right now, it's just the two of us in the classroom. Moon Ee-jin glanced around, realizing Jie-ram was right. She replied, everyone probably ran away because of your crazy antics, didn't they? Jie-ram feigned innocence. Oh, Class President, you're too harsh. It's lunchtime, so everyone's gone to eat. But you're not eating, Class President. What do you want? Moon Ee-jin, still annoyed, demanded, what do you want? Jie-ram saw her question, paused for a moment and thought. Then smiled and said, if you killed someone, could you just go back to reading a book right afterward? Moon Ee-jin frowned. What are you talking about? I've never killed anyone. Doon-jin just died on her own. So, do you consider suicide an indirect murder or a choice made out of free will? We could discuss this philosophical issue if you like. You're the class president, after all. But you talk like a wise philosopher. Jie-ram continued with a smirk. Moon Ee-jin stood up abruptly and snapped. Think about it on your own. As she started to walk away, Jie-ram called after her. Where are you going, class president? Stay and discuss it with me. You're preparing for your medical school interviews, aren't you? But Moon Ee-jin ignored her and left the classroom. Jie-ram, undeterred, whispered to herself, where's the class president going? Shouldn't you be preparing with Jie-ram? Other students started whispering among themselves. Is Jie-ram stalking the class president? Every break after the 5th period, she just stares at her. Even during class, she doesn't take her eyes off her. Jie-ram playfully called out, class president, if you only study, your eyesight will get worse. Jie-ram is bored, come play with me. Moon Ee-jin, trying to ignore her, thought, just ignore her. But then Jie-ram picked up a pen and began doodling all over Moon Ee-jin's book. Furious, Moon Ee-jin snatched it back, yelling, "You crazy bitch. What do you want?" Jiaram immediately started crying mockingly. "I was just trying to help you so you wouldn't get tired. But why are you yelling at me? You're so mean, class president." "What? Let go of my book, you're pissing me off." Moon Ee-jin snapped, storming off. Jiaram called out cheerfully, "Where are you going, class president? Let me go with you." Moon Ee-jin angrily muttered to herself, "Stop this crazy dog act already." Other students, watching the interaction, whispered, "Why is the class president always followed around by Jiaram? I don't know, but look at how scary she looks when she's mad." Another student commented, a while later, somewhere in the school. Moon Ee-jin was angrily shouting, releasing her frustration by kicking something several times. Afterward, she stood there, panting heavily from the exertion, looking around anxiously. Did it not follow me all the way here? She thought, it's been tailing me the entire day. Damn it, because of it, I had to throw away my 80,001 reference book. How can it open my locker so quietly, like a cat? Despite everything, she tried to console herself, thinking, maybe I should be thankful I didn't end up like Song Eun-jen. But then she quickly pushed that thought aside. No, what kind of twisted logic is that? This is just the beginning. It's going to slowly tighten its grip on me, and in the end, it will leave me in a state worse than Song Eun-jen's. Panic started to set in as she thought. I have to stop Yoon Jae-ram before she starts digging up my past. But how? The entire gang of Song Eun-jen was destroyed by just one person. How'd I beat that monster? Just then, an idea struck her, and she smiled wickedly. Why am I complicating things? It's been a while since I've had some exercise anyway. Who's going to believe such ridiculous rumors? I used to be an athlete. What can those rumors do to me? A fight against Yoon Jae-ram, what nonsense. 3 members of Song Eun-jen's gang together weigh almost twice as much as Jae-ram. Surely, with Lee Myung-jun backing her. His bodyguards must be protecting her, or maybe she hired some outside gang or mercenaries. They've spread these baseless rumors to elevate Yoon Jae-ram's status at school. Song Eun-jen can't deny them because she's being blackmailed. That's right, there's no need to overthink this. I just need to do what I did to Hyena. Use my strength to find her weakness. And then use Yoon Jae-ram to gather information on Lee Myung-jun, like a spy. At school, I'll use my power to re-educate that Yoon Jae-ram. I could have done this from the start. Among the high school girls in Korea, how many would be considered elite like me? The scene shifts to Lee Myung-jun speaking to Chief Bik. Chief Bik, I read that Moon Ee-jin once aspired to pursue a career in sports. What exactly was her field? Chief Bik responded, Mr. Vice Chairman, it was in the Taekwondo division, held in Korea last year. The Youth Taekwondo Championship, where the winner set an unprecedented record in the competition. She won gold across the board. If it weren't for the pressure of inheriting her family's large hospital, she would be the next national prodigy in the sport. Her most formidable weapon is the frightening power behind her kicks. Meanwhile, Moon Ee-jin continued to smile wickedly, thinking, just wait, Yoon Jae-ram. I'll take my time and break those legs of yours. The scene shifts to Song Eun-jin, who is sitting in the bathroom, crying. Her thoughts race in anger and frustration. Damn it, it's all because of that Yoon Jae-ram that I'm in this situation. I had to hide in the bathroom, crying like someone being bullied. Today, I was dragged around like that, humiliated in front of everyone. And even had that idiot Sol Jin led me around. Those stupid, crazy people, now they even dared to openly film me and mock me. Damn it, in the end, what's the difference between filming someone and filming a dog walk? Both are equally humiliating, aren't they? She considers her options. Should I tell my parents about this? No, I can't. She'll leak those nude photos of me. I had to stop that at all costs. Plus, if Yoon Jae-ram's stepfather, Lee Myung-jun, finds out about this and tells my parents, it might not solve anything. It could just make everything more complicated. Damn it, what am I supposed to do now? Lee Myung-jun, that ridiculous man, does he think I killed his daughter? Eun-jin's thoughts spiral as she remembers, at this school, starting with Moon Ee-jin. Kang Ah-yeon has returned to Busan, Bae Seo transferred to Gwangju. And even Cha Seo-yeon has gone abroad and only recently returned. There have been 4 demons that I couldn't even compare to. But why am I the only one being forced to play this humiliating dog-walking game? It's unacceptable. I haven't done anything so wrong that I deserve this. If anyone should be dealing with this madness at school, it should be Moon Ee-jin, not me. Just then, someone enters the bathroom, and Yoon-jin hears their voices. What's wrong with Yoon Ji-ram's dog? See, I told you, it's so scared it's hiding in here. Right? That crazy girl transferred to our school and caused all this trouble. Now, this school can't have a single peaceful day. I think something's going on here. It's full of lunatics, that's for sure. I never thought I'd find someone crazier than Yoon-jin at this school. But that crazy Yoon Ji-ram. She's the one I had a secret crush on. Stop saying disgusting things like that. She's not even your type, right? Well, Yoon Ji-ram is cool. Yeah, to be honest. I also enjoyed seeing Yoon Ji-ram teach Song Yoon-jin a lesson. True, at first, it was kind of scary, but after a while, it just seemed like they were just messing around, don't you think? But just thinking about how uncomfortable Song Yoon-jin must feel makes me feel better, one of the students continued. But why does the class president always get harassed? Why do they keep bothering someone who's just trying to study? Right? What did our classy class president do to deserve this? Poor class president, huh? You'd think all the cool people would stick together. Just then, Yoon-jin burst out of the bathroom, furious. What did you just say? Damn it, that class president is pitiful. Listening to you makes me want to puke. What do you know, anyway? That Moon Ee-jin has done worse things than I ever did. She was the one who stuffed cigarettes into Lee Haina's mouth. She was behind bullying Se-hee and Yoon too. If you don't believe me, go ask Song Jin-ji yourself. Damn it, I was just following orders. Even the idea of chaining Lee Haina like a dog came from Moon Ee-jin. So why do you all blame me? After venting, Yoon-jin ran out of the bathroom, tears streaming down her face. The two students left behind looked at each other in stunned silence before one of them finally broke the tension with a whispered, "Holy crap, that's insane." Meanwhile, Moon Ee-jin was walking through the school, lost in thought. That's right, first, I need to lure Yoon Ji-ram into the science room during cleaning time when no one's around. Then I'll lock the door and start the real fun. I'll torture her until she spills everything. After that, I'll strip her and take some compromising photos. With those as leverage, I'll make her my spy against Lee Myung-jun. That way, I can get rid of Yoon Ji-ram's nuisance once and for all and keep my past from being exposed. Feeling satisfied with her plan, Moon Ee-jin opened the door to the classroom. But something felt off. She noticed the other students huddled together, whispering about something. What's going on? Why does the atmosphere feel so strange? She thought. Just then, she overheard snippets of their conversation. I told you, she's not as innocent as she seems. I heard the class president is really fake too. That cold, rigid expression of hers. How could it not piss off the bullies? Looks like everything's coming out now. Hey, the class president is standing right behind you, another student whispered, making everyone freeze. Moon Ee-jin, hearing the whispers, looked around in confusion. She then walked over to the two students who had been talking. Forcing a smile as she spoke. Oh my gosh, what are you all talking about? Why did you stop when I came over? Talking behind my back like that, isn't that a bit too much? Come on, tell me what you were saying. What did I ever do to deserve this? Despite her calm words, her mind was racing, judging by their reactions. It seems I've arrived a little too late. Who the hell spilled the beans about what I've done? Could it be Yoon Ji-ram? No, it can't be. She hasn't been at this school long enough to know. And besides, she wouldn't just use my past to end the game so easily. Then who could it be? Meanwhile, Yoon-jin was sitting off to the side, trembling uncontrollably. Moon Ee-jin glanced over at her, her eyes narrowing in anger. It's you, isn't it, Song Yoon-jin? Without warning, Moon Ee-jin kicked Yoon-jin hard in the side. Then pressed her foot down on Yoon-jin's neck. Tell me, Yoon-jin, what did you say about me? You think you can mess with me and not pay for it? You're just begging to eat dirt, aren't you? But you didn't just piss me off. You made me a laughingstock, you worthless bitch. Yoon-jin cried out in pain, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Moon Ee-jin sneered, you'd better get ready, because it won't be long before Yoon Ji-ram has her turn. And after I'm done with her, it'll be your turn again, you pathetic loser. She punctuated her words with another kick to Eunjin's stomach, leaving her writhing in pain on the ground. As a final insult, Moon Ee-jin spat on Eunjin's face before walking away, thinking, that's it. If I think about it, all of this started because of that damn Yoon Ji-ram. If it weren't for her, my life would have just gone on peacefully. Yoon Ji-ram, I'm going to kill you. A moment later, the teacher's voice echoed through the hallways, instructing the students, everyone, start cleaning the areas you've been assigned, okay? Meanwhile, in another part of the school, Ji-ram was walking alongside Moon Ee-jin. Ji-ram smiled and asked, Class President, where are we going now? Moon Ee-jin, with a stern look, replied, I already told you. Today, we have to clean the science lab. That's strange, Ji-ram mused. I don't remember anyone announcing that. Moon Ee-jin shot back. No one wants to waste time explaining things to someone who doesn't understand. Just shut up and follow me to the science lab. Ji-ram, noticing that Moon Ee-jin was wearing long pants, didn't say anything in response. After a while, the two of them reached the science lab. As they entered, Ji-ram commented. So, this is the science lab. It smells just like the place I used to live. On the other side of the room, Moon Ee-jin quickly locked the door. Ji-ram, noticing this, turned around and asked. Class President, what are you doing? Moon Ee-jin responded. First, move those boxes from the floor onto the table. I'll sort the chemicals on the shelf. Got it. Class President, Ji-ram replied, starting to move the boxes. While Ji-ram was busy, Moon Ee-jin eyed a particular bottle of chemicals on the shelf. As Ji-ram asked, Class President, where should I put these boxes? Moon Ee-jin suddenly grabbed the bottle, lunging towards Ji-ram and splashing the liquid at her. However, Ji-ram managed to dodge the attack. But Moon Ee-jin wasn't done. She followed up with a powerful kick to Ji-ram, causing the boxes in Ji-ram's hands to fall. Ji-ram stumbled back from the impact. Moon Ee-jin's voice rang out with a mocking tone. I thought you'd only be able to dodge the hydrochloric acid. But I didn't expect you to avoid my kick too. You were using that box to protect yourself, weren't you? Annoying. If you're going to do something, do it right. It's been a while since I've done something like this, and I don't like it when it's boring. Come on, you bitch. Let's have some real fun today. Upon hearing Moon Ee-jin's words, Ji-ram burst into loud laughter, leaving Moon Ee-jin completely baffled. Moon Ee-jin then snapped. What are you laughing at, you crazy girl? Ji-ram responded, this is how it should be. Finally, the class monitor is willing to play with me. Why shouldn't I laugh? Now, the class monitor is finally giving me some attention. Ji-ram is so happy about that. Hearing Ji-ram's response, Moon Ee-jin looked at her and thought. Her stance is definitely that of a boxer. I remember the first day she transferred here, she knocked Song Eun-jin flat on his back. She must be really good at boxing. Although I don't know how skilled she is, if she can't handle my kicks, I'll definitely win. After finishing her thought, Moon Ee-jin spoke up, Hey, what are you doing? Aren't you coming over here? I told you to come here. I'm happy to be playing with you. Don't act all tough in front of me and then shake with fear behind my back. If you're too scared, you don't have to come here. I'll just come to you instead. With that, Moon Ee-jin rushed forward and kicked, but Garam blocked the kick. The reason everyone calls Moon Ee-jin a monster is because Garam remembered what Chief Big said. She can deliver 130 kicks in just 1 minute with full body strength. The speed of those kicks is insane. She spins quickly, and the attacks she delivers hit deep into the bones. Moreover, she has the ability to move her leg muscles very flexibly to adjust the distance with her opponent. In terms of physical strength, she can't match Song Jin-woo, Song Eun-jin's brother, but in terms of technique, Moon Ee-jin overwhelms even him. At that moment, Moon Ee-jin laughed and said, What's the matter? Can't focus on fighting, can you? You're too busy trying to block, aren't you? You look pretty cute like that. After saying those words, she thought to herself, I'm just talking big, but isn't her reaction to dodging my kicks too good? None of my kicks are landing effectively. If this continues, my stamina will wear out. I should probably throw in a few punches in between. Just then, on the other side, Garam laughed and said, You idiot. Who's stupid enough to corner someone and just keep attacking non-stop? Are you talking about yourself? Your kicks aren't as effective as I thought. Or are you scared? Hearing Garam's words, Moon Ee-jin angrily replied. What the hell are you talking about? As soon as she said that, she had to dodge a punch that flew over her head. She thought in shock, what was that? When did it get so close to me? On the other side, Garam was laughing and said, Class monitor, now it's my turn. As soon as Garam said that, she immediately swung her fist, but Moon Ee-jin ducked and dodged it. The room instantly became tense. Moon Ee-jin thought to herself, what was that just now? Was it a swish or something? No, the pressure from that punch made the glass panels shake. Realizing this, Moon Ee-jin quickly backed up, keeping a distance from Garam, and continued to think, she's much more dangerous than I thought. I need to retreat and reassess. At that moment, Garam spoke again, where are you looking, class monitor? Hearing Garam's voice, Moon Ee-jin turned back to look, only to see Garam swinging her fist again, saying, that's just my shadow. Moon Ee-jin was terrified as she saw the fist flying toward her. A second later, Garam's punch landed squarely on her face, sending her body flying straight into the wall behind her. She cried out in pain, ouch. That hurts. At that moment, Chief Big's voice echoed, but no matter how good Moon Ee-jin's technique is, in the end, she's just a small fry. Over time, her stamina will be drained, and she'll have nothing left. Currently, Garam was laughing and saying, class monitor, even though you were warned beforehand, you still managed to block that punch, which is impressive. Plus, in that split second, you were able to kick back at me to reduce the impact. So, I'll take back what I said, you're not a dumb dog. Hearing Garam say this, Moon Ee-jin thought, damn it, why is she so strong? No, she really is strong, but in that second punch, despite not closing my eyes, I still missed her punch. Her speed is almost like lightning. How is she able to do that? Garam's voice rang out again, class monitor, it seems now it's your turn to be cornered. Why would you choose such a cramped place to fight? In Taekwondo, the specialty is long-range fighting, so you're at a disadvantage, aren't you? You really are an odd one. On the other side, Moon Ee-jin, filled with fear, thought. I've lost because I underestimated her. The rumors about Song Jin-woo being beaten so badly aren't just rumors. I need to stay calm. No matter what, next time, it'll be her who's cornered. Don't waver just because you're cornered. With obstacles on both sides. Garam's attacks are also restricted, so the only open path is straight ahead. The fewer variables, the easier it is to react to her attacks. But if I lose focus like before, I won't be able to counterattack. As soon as I see a sign of her preparing to attack, I need to quickly retaliate. Seeing Garam move her hand, Moon Ee-jin leapt forward and struck Garam, pushing her back with a kick. Seeing this, Moon Ee-jin smiled and thought, good, just as I thought. When the fight drags on, both of us have the same speed, but I have the advantage in this part. On the other side, Garam was also watching Moon Ee-jin closely. The two stood there, observing each other. A second later, Moon Ee-jin rushed forward, lifting her leg and kicking Garam directly. Garam took the hit, and she became angry. Seeing Garam's anger, Moon Ee-jin continued to smile and thought, if you can't get close to me, of course, you'll fall behind, right? So now, young Garam, what are you going to do? You can't just push the marble lab table next to you into me. You'll be knocked out just trying to wrestle with that 80 kilograms table. But what if she steps on the table to attack me? I just need to hook her leg and make her fall, that's all. What's the matter, young Garam? Do you want to take control of this fight? At this slow pace, I'll make sure you get hurt over and over again. Just as Moon Ee-jin thought, Garam rushed forward and pushed the table away. Garam was charging from Moon Ee-jin's side, and a second later, Moon Ee-jin raised her hand to block the punch. After landing the punch, Garam laughed and said, damn it, you're such an idiot. You like showing off your long legs, huh? Are you just trying to tickle me? Do you even know how to play this game? You should work on building your muscles, class monitor. You must have felt it earlier, right? My real punch. If you don't have the strength to resist that punch, you're dead for sure. Hearing Garam's words, Moon Ee-jin became frightened and thought, she's not just boasting. If that punch had hit my throat earlier, I would have been done for. I need to get away. As Moon Ee-jin tried to run, Garam grabbed her hair and directly threw her back into the room. After doing that, Garam walked to the door, laughing and said, who is it that said they would show me a good time? Playing with someone and then running away. Come on, look closely, class monitor. I'm going to show you something really interesting. With that, Garam broke the door lock with her bare hands. Seeing this, Moon Ee-jin was terrified and thought, this crazy girl. She broke the door lock with her bare hands. The handle of the door. Meanwhile, Garam kept laughing and said, now no one can get in or out of here. And now, the real game begins. Where's the obedient and cute class monitor? Ah, here you are, finally found you. Get up, class monitor. I know you can still move. Struggle a bit more to entertain me, Garam taunted. Moon Ee-jin began to feel real fear, thinking, damn it, I was wrong from the start. This isn't just about being overpowered anymore, this is life or death. If I want to get out of here alive, I have to try everything, no matter what, and I can't give up. With that thought, she rushed toward a glass bottle and immediately threw it at Garam, but Garam dodged it. After dodging, Garam looked back at Moon Ee-jin and saw her grabbing another glass bottle and charging at her. Moon Ee-jin threw 2 more bottles, but Garam avoided them both. At that moment, Moon Ee-jin started taking off her shirt, wrapping it around her hand, and with a loud yell, she punched straight through a cabinet behind her. Garam, watching this, was confused. Moon Ee-jin wrapped the shards of glass in her shirt and, a second later, swung it at Garam. Garam raised her hand to block it, but her body was still scratched by the glass shards. Following the glass shards was some kind of liquid that Garam quickly dodged. When the liquid hit the floor, it caused a corrosive reaction, it was acid. Moon Ee-jin spoke up, I'll do as you wish, I'll struggle. She then took a piece of broken glass and stabbed it into the top of 2 acid bottles, aiming them at Garam and shouting, die already. Acid sprayed from the bottles as Moon Ee-jin waved them toward Garam. Garam quickly tried to evade, but some of the acid splashed onto her shoulder. Garam then picked up a chair and used it to block the acid, but the chair was quickly corroded. Some acid also dripped onto Garam's thigh, and she was now visibly furious. At the same time, the acid in Moon Ee-jin's bottles ran out, and she became fearful. A second later, the chair in Garam's hand was thrown directly at Moon Ee-jin. Garam, still smiling, said, why so aggressive? Are you done playing with your water guns? I didn't think you'd be such a filthy person. Wait, let's negotiate, okay? How about we negotiate over the plot where we'll bury you with your ancestors, you cowardly bastard? Hearing Garam's words, Moon Ee-jin immediately kicked the chair at her. But Garam quickly ducked to avoid it. After dodging, Garam looked up, only to see Moon Ee-jin charging at her with a chair in hand. A second later, Moon Ee-jin brought the chair down, but Garam dodged again. Moon Ee-jin then kicked the chair directly at Garam, and this time, the chair leg struck Garam, causing her to suffer a broken ulna, a hip joint injury, and fractured ribs. Seeing Garam take the hit, Moon Ee-jin smiled, thinking, this is it. With her ribs broken, she won't be able to fight anymore. I've won. As she stood there, lost in thought, Garam's fist suddenly flew toward her like lightning, landing straight on her face. The punch left Moon Ee-jin in pain, clutching her nose. After delivering the punch, Garam coldly said, why is my hand moving so strangely? It doesn't feel natural to punch like this. Honestly, when I saw you lifting that 180 kilogram stone to hit me, it felt like my ribs were breaking into pieces. How dare you touch me? Should I break a few of your ribs too? Hearing this, Moon Ee-jin thought in fear. This crazy girl. Despite her broken bones, she's still able to throw such powerful punches. Doesn't she feel any pain? She's used up all the hydrochloric acid and dirty tricks, huh? Well, that's not going to work now. It's my turn to give you a taste of the green grass. Don't come near me. I said, don't come near me. Stay back, damn it. Just then, a voice came from outside the door, who's in there? You lazy kids, hiding from cleaning duties, aren't you? And locking the door too. Open up now. Hearing this, Moon Ee-jin thought, why is there a teacher here at this time? It's supposed to be the teachers' council meeting now. But this is good. It's more important to get away from this monster. I just need to wait until the teachers open the door, and I'll run out immediately. Garam, meanwhile, said, I was going to play with you a bit longer, but it seems there's no other way. Things have turned out this way, so I guess it's time to end it here. It's really a tough choice. Moon Ee-jin retorted, you talk as if you can end this whenever you like. That's right, Garam responded, I'll stop whenever I decide to. I'm serious. I'll end this game right here and now. But I bet you don't believe me, do you? You make me feel both downcast and excited, Garam said. Are you backing out? Well, that makes sense. Walking away would be embarrassing, right? But, class monitor, that's not it. You're clearly not a master of boxing. Now, listen closely, class monitor, my special talent lies in my kicks. As soon as Garam finished speaking, she kicked Moon Ee-jin. The kick startled Moon Ee-jin, and she thought, what? Wasn't that kick supposed to be really weak? Instantly, Moon Ee-jin smiled and thought, I'll use a catch kick to take you down. She locked Garam's ankle, but Garam, taking advantage of the momentum, jumped up and swung her fist toward Moon Ee-jin's face. Moon Ee-jin was shocked, thinking, why is she jumping? It's like she's been waiting for this. A second later, Garam grabbed Moon Ee-jin's head and immediately punched her square in the face. The blow knocked Moon Ee-jin to the ground, and she lost consciousness on the spot. Seeing this, Garam smiled and said, this is a kick-catch technique used to pull the opponent in and break their facial defense. I'm returning that first hit. You hit me in my own way. Don't be sad or dwell on losing to me, okay, class monitor. Meanwhile, the voice outside continued, you kids inside, hurry up and open the door. Why is this door so sturdy? Mr. Chanu, go to the security office and get the key. Inside, Garam heard them and laughed, saying, come on in. It's taking you longer to open the door than I expected. So, in the meantime, how about we play a game to see who can make the other pass out? How about it, class monitor? After a while, Moon Ee-jin slowly regained consciousness from the punch. She was in a state of panic, thinking, what? Did I actually pass out? Did Garam knock me out? But something feels strange. Is this where I fell and lost consciousness? Where is Garam now? At that moment, Garam's voice echoed from behind her, class monitor, you're awake now. Hearing Garam behind her, Moon Ee-jin was terrified, thinking, what? Why is she sitting on my back? And why are my hands tied? Hey, you crazy bitch, get off me. What the hell are you trying to do now? How are you still okay? Untie me now, or I swear I'll kill you. Ignoring her words, Garam began lifting Moon Ee-jin's shirt. Moon Ee-jin's face flushed with anger as she yelled, what are you doing? A second later, Garam sprinkled shards of glass onto Moon Ee-jin's back. After doing that, Garam pulled the shirt down and pressed her knee into the shards, causing Moon Ee-jin excruciating pain, making her cry out. As Moon Ee-jin screamed, Garam pressed her knee even harder. Moon Ee-jin began shouting curses at Garam, you damn bitch, how dare you? I'll kill you, you crazy bitch. You filthy dog. Garam then grabbed Moon Ee-jin's head and pressed it into the ground, lying on her back, and coldly said, class monitor, you're really an annoying little girl. No matter how much you pray or apologize, it won't be enough. You deserve to die. You, the daughter of a medical family, grew up beautiful, but it seems you're lacking in basic survival instincts. I know, so get off me and let's talk, please. Meanwhile, outside, the person trying to get in was still angrily saying, damn it, why is this door so sturdy? Mr. Kimmy, isn't there a bigger tool? The guard said this is the biggest one we have. Just this? How is this supposed to break through a door this thick? Kicking it down would be faster. Inside, Moon Ee-jin, furious that they couldn't get the door open, thought, those useless teachers can't even manage to open this door. At that moment, Garam laughed and said, did you hear what they're saying outside, class monitor? It seems like the teachers out there are having a hard time getting the door open. It's only a matter of time before they manage to open it. If they find this battlefield, we're both going to be in serious trouble. But for me, no matter what punishment I get, it won't really affect me. However, for a student like you, class monitor, things will be very different, won't they? What are you trying to say? Moon Ee-jin asked, what I want to say is that the only handkerchief you have? What do you mean, adorable class monitor? From the first time I saw you, I noticed something. Your face has such soft and fair skin, just like a clean, white handkerchief. But now, in my hands. I'm sure it will wipe up all the filth on this floor, don't you think? Wait, damn it, you can't do that. No, you're the one who splashed chemicals on me, remember? I was wrong, so please don't do this. It's too late, darling. Time to die. Hearing the screams from inside, the teachers outside were alarmed and said, what's going on in there? What's happening? Moon Ee-jin shouted desperately. Teacher, help me. This crazy girl wants to kill me. Even if you tell the teacher, you shouldn't lie, class monitor. I'm just cleaning up, Garam said. She then grabbed Moon Ee-jin's head and started moving it toward the acid. Moon Ee-jin was terrified, screaming in panic. Just then, a teacher managed to kick the door open and burst in. He was shocked by the scene in front of him. Moon Ee-jin, seeing the teacher enter, screamed, "Teacher!" The teacher rushed over and pushed Garam off of Moon Ee-jin. He asked in surprise, Garam, is that you? What were you doing to your friend?" "It's not what it looks like, sir. I was just trying to help the class monitor up after she fell," Garam replied. "Don't lie to me. I heard someone screaming for help. Good heavens, has a storm hit our school? How could two girls turn a classroom into such a mess? The science lab equipment was brand new and hasn't even lasted a full semester. Do you know how tight the school's budget is right now? You both are definitely going to face serious disciplinary action. What class are you in and what's your name?" Hearing this, Moon Ee-jin quickly gave her name and class. Hearing the name Moon Ee-jin, the teacher was shocked. The other teacher beside him said, "She's the top student in the whole school from the March mock exam, isn't she?" "Yes, that's her. She's the one who's been getting a lot of support to pass the entrance exam." The first teacher responded, "So it's clear that Moon Ee-jin is the victim here. And you, what's your name and class?" Garam didn't answer, just stared at him. The teacher, feeling uneasy, said, "Why does that girl look so familiar?" Then Garam spoke, "I met you last time in the teacher's room, remember? I'm the new transfer student, Garam." Hearing her name, the teacher's face went blank for a second before he rushed over with a smile, saying, "Garam. How's your father, Mr. Young, doing?" "He's doing well, still going strong," Garam replied with a slight smile. The other teacher then interrupted, "Vice Principal, now's not the time for small talk. We need to get these kids to the hospital and call their parents right away." "Be quiet," snapped the Vice Principal. "Mr. Chanyu, you clearly don't know how to assess the situation. And you, Mr. Kim, what are you waiting for? Go manage the students outside." "Yes, sir." "You lot, what are you staring at? Anyone repeating what they saw here will be in big trouble. Now get back to your cleaning duties, all of you." After organizing things, the vice principal turned back to Garam with a smile and said, "Garam, it's great that you're getting used to your new school. But why did you let things get so out of hand? You and the class monitor were just playing around a bit too roughly, right? It's understandable at your age, no big deal." He continued, "Mr. Chanyu and Mr. Kim, make sure to keep this incident a secret, and make sure the other students who saw anything keep their mouths shut too. As for you, Moon Hee-jin, you should be disciplined, but since you're a valuable student, I'll let it slide this time. However, if you bully Garam again, the punishment will be double. Do you understand?" "What the hell? What are you saying?" "Yes, I understand." Moon Hee-jin replied bitterly. "Oh, and Mr. Chanyu, you'll stay after school to clean this up." "Vice Principal, how can you ask me to do that? If you don't like it, you can leave. Come on, Garam, let's go. There are too many shards here, it's dangerous." As the two of them walked away, laughing, Mr. Chanyu angrily shouted after them, "Vice Principal." But they didn't even turn back to respond. Seeing this, the teacher asked Moon Hee-jin, "Hee-jin, did I just get fired?" "It seems like it, teacher. Why did I get myself into trouble and end up getting fired? Damn this shitty school. I'm not teaching here anymore." Meanwhile, as the vice principal and Garam walked away, Garam turned around, pointed at Moon Hee-jin, and made a throat-slashing gesture. This terrified Moon Hee-jin remained sitting in the room, filled with fear. A while later, back in the classroom, the teacher stood at the front and said, "Thank you all for working so hard to clean up. And a special thanks to the class monitor and Garam. Both of you did a great job as well. Now, let's dismiss class. Everyone, be careful on your way home." As soon as the teacher finished speaking, all the students stood up and began to leave. However, Moon Hee-jin kept her eyes on Garam. At that moment, Jinji walked up to Garam and said, "Garam, thanks for helping me out. Would you like to join me for some spicy rice cakes? My treat." "Sorry, I can't join you today," Garam replied. "Really? Do you have plans with someone else?" Jinji asked. Who would want to go eat with me after school? Garam responded playfully. Hearing this, Moon Hee-jin grew angry. Thinking, damn it, that crazy bitch is planning to hunt me down to the very end, isn't she? Even if Eun Garam wasn't around, there are still Lee Mai and Jun's loyal bodyguards. But damn it, I also had to go to the math center today. What if I get kidnapped on the way? Should I call my boyfriend? But no, I can't drag someone uninvolved into this mess just to help me. Meanwhile, Song Eun-jin was also filled with fear, thinking, damn it, what a nightmare. Staying hidden at home seems like the safest option. If she tries something while I'm on my way home, I'm done for. My parents are on a business trip in Southeast Asia, so I can't ask them to pick me up. If this keeps up, will I end up like my older brother? Come to think of it, I saw her really going at it with Moon Hee-jin during the cleanup. Maybe her target today wasn't me, but Moon Hee-jin. Both Moon Hee-jin and Song Eun-jin silently chanted, please, Buddha, let Garam go after Moon Hee-jin instead. Please, Buddha, let Garam go after Song Eun-jin. Just then, Garam stood up with a smile and said, alright, I've decided who I'm going to celebrate with, Song Eun-jin. I'll be borrowing your group for a bit, okay? Why are you all looking at me like that? Come on, let's go together today. At this, Song Eun-jin raised her hand and nervously asked. Garam, can I go ahead and leave? Why, Eun-jin, did I upset you by not inviting you sooner? No, not at all. Definitely not. Well then, I'll go ahead. Bye, everyone. As Eun-jin left, Garam laughed and said, Eun-jin is as heartless as ever. She hasn't changed one bit. Moon Hee-jin thought to herself, why did she choose them and not Eun-jin? They have nothing to do with the Lee Hina situation, right? Well, it's none of my business. I should take this chance to slip away to my extra classes. Please, just leave me alone after school. As Moon Hee-jin stood up to leave, Garam noticed and said, how long are you two going to cling to each other? Are you electrically charged or something? School's almost over, but I have something I want to ask you, a lot of things, actually. Sehee and Jaein, upon hearing Garam, started to cry in fear. A short while later, the two were taken to an unknown location, with Garam standing in front of them. The two were trembling uncontrollably. At this point, Garam spoke, why are you two shaking so much? Did I do something to you? I just wanted to go with you to ask a few questions. If you answer honestly, I'll let you go without any trouble. What? You'll let us go? If we say something wrong, are you going to kill us? Just kidding. I haven't killed you yet, have I? Then what will you do to us if we answer wrong? That's really annoying. We understand, we'll be honest. Okay, listen carefully to the question. You both went to SEO middle school with Eun-jin, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, you also know about Lee Hina, don't you? Yes, she was the one who jumped off the building and committed suicide last year, wasn't she? A third-generation chaebol, right? But what about it? From now on, don't utter a single lie. Tell me honestly. Were you two involved in Hina's death? What? We didn't even know Lee Hina. What? We didn't even know Lee Hina. Yeah, we weren't even in the same class as her. I said to be honest. I mean it. We're telling the truth. We never even talked to Hina, not once. Please, we're not lying. Don't torture us. Yeah, no matter how much you torture us, we won't have anything to say because we don't know anything. Why are you acting like this? If you don't know, what about you, Syria? You and Eun-jin were very close in first grade. And there's another culprit, the one who was closest to Kang A-yeon. Are you trying to play dumb in front of me? No, who's been spreading these false rumors? It's true that Eun-jin and I used to be close when we were younger, but since she joined Cha Eseoyeon's group, we haven't spoken at all. And as for me and Kang A-yeon, there was never any close relationship. We lived in Busan, so we only greeted each other once and that was it. I've been scared of getting involved with them from the beginning, so I never talked to them. It's just like with Moon Hee-jin, who's considered the boss, but not as smart as Moon Hee-jin. Just seeing them made us tremble, so how could we have gotten close to them? If you keep this up, I might just have to repeat what happened last time, Garam said with a hint of menace. Please, spare us. I'm telling the truth. I'm really scared of people like Kang A-yeon and Cha Eseoyeon's gang. I don't fit in with them at all, please believe me. Jae-yeon pleaded. Hearing this, Garam thought, it seems like they're not lying. With the help of the head's older brother who collected their incriminating photos, they were forced to reflect on their actions. But after thinking it over, I realized there's no need to reconsider and just tire myself out. It's a pity, if other people were involved in this, the game would be even more fun. At that moment, Jae-yeon raised her hand and said, Garam, can you please stop making that expression? It's really terrifying. What's wrong with my expression? You look like a psychotic killer who's been provoked, Garam. Oh, would you like a beating, Jae-yeon? Okay, I'll shut up. Oh God, fine, I'll trust you for now, Garam. Really? Garam asked with a sly grin. But because of me, you both need to help me with a small task. A small task? Essie, he asked nervously. Yes, this is why I called you two here. From now on, I'm only going to bully the class monitor. That means Eun-jin won't be bullied by anyone else, right? I can't stand seeing that happen. So, I want you two to bully Eun-jin for me.